Welcome back to our Costa Rica series. We are Hannah and Jeremy, and this is week 3 of our adventure. Last week, we explored the cloud forests of Monteverde, toured the jungle at night, and visited the famous La Fortuna waterfall. This week, we will learn about chocolate making in Costa Rica, see another sloth, a little bit closer this time, conquer a fear, and experience some traditional Costa Rican cooking.
Our first stop was the Mistico Hanging Bridges. This adventure park in La Fortuna is 3.2 kilometers or 2 miles long, with a total of 16 hanging bridges. The trails are surrounded by lush tropical rainforests. In addition to seeing some unique plants, we also spotted quite the abundance of wildlife.
Jeremy! Come this way, but slowly.
The first portion of the trail is accessible with mostly paved paths. However, after the fork, we encountered our first of many hanging bridges.
Jeremy is not a huge fan of heights, so leave him a comment with a high five for conquering this fear. The bridges have quite a bit of bounce to them, however, we never felt like we were unsafe. They have a limit of how many guests can cross at one time. We never came across more than a few people at any given time while on the trail.
I have to do how many more? There is also an option to take this tour with a guide, which we realize might have helped spot some more wildlife. However, we have another tour booked for the next few days, so we chose to do this one on our own. After 15 other bridges, we crossed number 16 and reached the end. On a clear day, the end of the trail rewards you with an epic view of Arenal. However, even after trying to wait out the clouds, we never got a glimpse, so it was time to head to our next stop.
For lunch, we stopped at a local soda. Sodas are what Costa Ricans call their local restaurants. They are normally small, mom-and-pop, open-air restaurants that serve mostly traditional Costa Rican food. We visited a few different ones throughout our trip and found the food to always be exceptional, and the prices are very reasonable. And sometimes they had an amazing view, but more about that one in our next episode.
The next stop was a chocolate experience with Two Little Monkeys, a craft chocolate maker offering classes and tastings run by a Costa Rican family and named after their two little ones. We learned about the process of chocolate making from start to finish, as well as the different ways that chocolate was prepared and eaten throughout history.
Pick out the main ingredient of chocolate. I don't know if you've ever seen the fruit.
Oh yeah.
We'll be able to see the trees today. And this is wrapped. This hasn't been fermented. This hasn't been roasted. And then we're gonna toast the beans. It's going to boost most of the taste and the flavor. So we go from here. We just put it in the container made of wood. Put in some allspice in here, allspice berries. That's what you guys use for pumpkin pie back home. And then you just put all the spices here. This is how the Spanish made chocolate back in the day. It's gone like this. Beautiful one.
If you work for it, it doesn't count, right?
No. It's a way how the ancestors made the chocolate. Well, we still in Central America using molinillos to make the chocolate foamy. And the idea here is to create foam.
Okay.
With one little layer.
We got to design our own truffles using the white, dark, and milk chocolate produced by Two Little Monkeys themselves. While we waited for our chocolate to set, we got to enjoy another glass of sugarcane, and then it was time for a tour of the plantation. So is it the vine or?
They look like green beans. Yeah. And you dry them, right? Do you dry them or do you? That.
And you use that one when you go to a restaurant and you see like a reddish color and you put like a rice achiote. You know that?
In order to help protect the cocoa plant, they plant a diverse array of different plants in the area. This helps reduce the risk of a fungus wiping out the whole crop.
Look, it's a sloth, babe.
Where?
Middle of the tree, all the way up. He's not really moving.
Oh,
right
yeah.
in the middle.
Come here to the
Now
right.
off to the right. Holy cow.
The brown animal in the trunk of the tree.
Although this was a second sloth sighting, this was the first time we were able to make out their face. We bought quite a few different bars to bring home for friends and family, but of course, we had to buy a few for us too.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Let me know if I did it. I can do it
Yes.
again.
Yeah, it's good. We checked in for the next few nights at our hotel, the Hotel Arenal Kioro Suites. The room was very well laid out, but it wasn't until the next morning when we got to experience the real reason that we booked this hotel. Each room on the property is set up to enjoy both a view in the front and in the back with the volcano. You can choose between a king bed or 2 queens. Each room also has a hot tub. We ordered a pizza from a local place and just spent the rest of the evening watching the fog roll in. The next morning, we were greeted with an almost complete view of Arenal, minus maybe just a few clouds at the top. However, in the time it took us to make a cup of coffee and order breakfast, the clouds were back.
Breakfast is included with your stay, and you have the option of a traditional Costa Rican breakfast or a classic American style. Arenal is currently considered to be a dormant volcano. However, it has only been considered dormant since 2010, and it maintains the current record for the longest eruption in centuries that lasted from 1968 until 2010. You can still see the geothermal activity as evidenced by the hot springs in the area, as well as the signs of lava flow that cover the side of the volcano.
Our last night in La Fortuna, we participated in a traditional Costa Rican cooking lesson.
is a hell of pound, you know? Okay. And we could like a half sweet pepper for.
Yeah. Sounds like it's maybe the same
Okay,
thing
you
and they
can
just
keep-
made a waffle out of it.
Small. Okay. On the menu was hearts of palm salad, arroz con pollo, and a dessert made from shaved papaya and panela, which is a block of unrefined dark brown sugar.
You visited the restaurant after?
The meal was prepared using a traditional wood-burning stove, which many families in Costa Rica still use in their homes today. We saw one at Two Little Monkeys Chocolate Workshop as well, if you caught it there. We then learned how to make handmade tortillas with just corn flour or masa and water.
Of course, we had to turn it into a competition to see who's better. I'll let you decide who you think won. Thank you for joining us this week. Please take a moment to subscribe and like this video to see more in the future. And set your notifications to get reminded for next week when we post the final episode of this series. We may have just saved the best for last.